The objective of this research investigation is to acquire deep knowledge about everything that conforms the United States in the following aspects: society, economic, and politics. It is very important to know about this country because as of today, it is one of the most influential countries worldwide and it is a first world power. In addition, it's always good to know more about a culture and the way of living of the people and the way it is managed economically and politically. In this video, it will be mentioned in a thorough way where and how people live daily. In the economical aspect, it will be explained how the country is financially organized. Finally, the political aspects will be described and questions about how the country is managed will be answered. The relation between society, economics, and politics is a big important since these three aspects play a key role in the creation of a country. If one of these aspects doesn't work, the country will automatically fall down.
Society, location and territory. The location of the United States of America is bordering both the North Atlantic Ocean and the North Pacific Ocean between Canada and Mexico. Most temperate but tropical in Hawaii and Florida. Arctic in Alaska, semi-arid in the Great Plains of the west of the Mississippi River, and arid in the Great Basin of the Southwest. Language. The percentage of their language in United States is English 79.2%, Spanish 12.9%, other Indo-European 3.7%, Asian and Pacific Island 3.3%. The religion. The main religion in USA is Protestant with 51.3%, Roman Catholic 23.9%, Mormon 1.7%, other Christian 1.6%, Jewish 1.7%, Buddhist 0.7%. Population and age migration. United States of America has a population of 380 million people and their age structure is 0 to 14 years is 19.4%, 15-24 years is 13.7%, 25 to 54 years is 39.9%, 55 to 64 years is 12.6%, 65 years and over is 14.5%. The ethnic groups include the white people that have 79.96% and black people 12.85%. Asia 4.43%. The education in the United States is followed by primary school, middle school, and secondary school, and the post-secondary school. The post-secondary education includes non-degree programs that lead the certificates and the diplomas plus 6th-degree level.
Now we are going to talk about American indexes. First of all, the monetary policy is the government's control of the money supply. The government can control how much money or how little money is in circulation by the amount that they print and coin. Then we have the fiscal policy. It affects the economy by making changes in government's methods of raising money and spending it. Raising money, the most important way that the United States raises money is through taxation. Then the way that they spend the money, it's basically that first of all, they spend about 1.5 trillion a year as provided in the federal budget. Then we have the fiscal policy. Also can affect all the money supply and can be used to stimulate spending or curb inflation. Finally, we have the GDP, that is the gross domestic products. In all the data that we have, it states that by the end of December of 2014, the GDP was about $16.8 trillion.
Now, let's talk about politics. The U.S. federal government is composed of three distinct branches: legislative, executive, and judicial, whose powers are vested by the U.S. Constitution. Congress, the President, and the federal courts, including the Supreme Court. The United States is a representative democracy, Citizens elect representatives to national, state, and local government. Those representatives create the laws that govern the U.S. society. Although nothing in the U.S. law requires it, the political system is dominated by political parties. With rare exceptions, elections are made between the two major parties, Republicans and Democrats. So, basically, everything in politics in the US boils down to party politics. The United States is a very diverse society, and citizens' competing interests are reflected in politics. Citizens may have different preferences because of their jobs, if they have children or not, and so on. So, to understand the electoral process, we must understand how different interests come to play. The United States is a very diverse society, and citizens' competing interests are reflected in politics. Citizens may have different preferences because of their jobs, if they have children or not, and so on. So, to understand the electoral process, we must understand how different interests come to play. Individual citizens are not the only player in the US politics. Although individual citizens are the only ones who can cast votes, special interest groups, lobbyists may influence elections and lawmaking with money or other resources. At times, these influences has grown so noticeable that some have called into question whether the United States is truly a democracy of the people or something more like an oligarchy of special interest groups. The media also plays an important role in politics by influencing public sentiment and acting as an information filter.
After analyzing and doing through research about this country, we can conclude that in fact the US is a very easy country to understand, even though it is one of the most biggest and powerful ones of the world. The individual leadership can take economy to the top by the hand of the capitalism, which characterizes its society. Macro and microeconomics have been rising up a long time ago. All this can make us infer politics are well managed if its economy can lead us into such a key role worldwide. In fact, the country is very successful and its citizens have a lot of opportunities to grow. Laws are changed in the US, and we think political method is a very satisfying and seems to be really honest. We also notice that Americans have a very standardized personalities and are very self-controlled because they look for auto-realization, which sometimes may be even selfish. Looking at the bright side, this also causes a lot of motivation for the country honor. As every other country, it could be better in some ways, but looking at it all, it should be recognized that all of its effort and well-organized government has a country in a very stable position compared to others.